Hey, welcome back friends. If you want to join the friends, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. So today I want to share a couple of my results from testing out the Enchanted Bakriminel bolts, and a couple of them are actually pretty surprising. The first thing that I do want to mention is the chance of them proccing. If you have the Sears achievement diaries already completed, they do give you a 2% increase into the chance of them proccing. I did 1,000 attempts at it and I got a little bit over 7%, so that means it is going to be additive. Anything that is 5% is going to go up to 7%, anything that is a 10% should go up to 12%. It is not multiplicative. The next thing that I do want to mention is the ones that are going to be consumed on use. If you couldn't just tell from the Opal Bakriminel bolts just being used right there, they're basically all going to be consumed on use. I had 100 of each of these when I first started, and I only have 2 that only have 100 now. Sapphire Bakriminel bolts, for some reason these ones do not consume when procced. This is the one exception to the rule. And red topaz, I just straight couldn't get to work. Either they do not show the debuff, or they don't work on training dummies or any of the other like 3 or 4 things that I tested on. I don't know what they would be used on then. It should proc on anything. I also tried it on the training dummy dispenser over here because these actually do have an auto retaliate, so that means that they have to have a magic level. They have a magic level, and I couldn't get the red topazes to proc. So my assumption is this is just straight broken. I don't think the red topazes work at all. The next thing that I tested was whether or not thresholds would also proc them, or if it was just basic abilities. So I'll go ahead and use a couple of thresholds here, and they do proc, as you can see right there. It is possible to proc an ability off of a threshold. Next thing that I tested out was whether or not bleeds would work with one proc or multiple procs. So let's go ahead and go to a new training dummy here so that I don't have these random procs all of a sudden. Go ahead and use both of the bleed abilities, and as you can see, it is not proccing at all. This is highly unlikely with a 55% chance of proccing that with that many bleed ticks that it would not proc at all. We're going to do it one more time just to show you that that is the way that it works. Basically doesn't proc at all with bleeds. It is very, very strange. You'd expect it to proc at least once. So far, I haven't been able to get it to proc at all with bleed abilities. So basically, bleeds are just straight not going to work with these bolts, which is kind of silly. The next thing that I tested is whether or not it's going to proc one time, multiple times, or no times with channeled abilities. So let's go ahead and build up a little bit of adrenaline. The 2 channeled abilities are going to be rapid fire and unload. So let's go ahead and use rapid fire really quick. And as you can see, it's getting quite a few procs from rapid fire. So that means that it's going to be able to proc every single time you deal damage. I will show you unload as well. This is a 1-minute cooldown ultimate ability, and it is proccing multiple times with unload as well. So it looks like channeled abilities do have a chance of multiple procs. Next up is going to be whether or not it actually procs on AoE abilities. So the only AoE ability that is going to be a basic is going to be Ricochet, and the other one is going to be Bombard. So let's go ahead and Ricochet. Let's do it like 2 or 3 times, see if it's actually going to proc our Emerald bolts, because basically these are going to be about 50-50 chance of proccing. If they do proc within the first 2 or 3 times, good chance that it is going to be getting proc there. There we go. So it looks like it can be procced on AoE abilities. I did already test out Bombard. That also works as well. The next thing that I wanted to test out was whether or not you get a increase in the amount of damage and the amount of heal from Onyx Bakriminel bolts and all the other Bakriminel bolts, depending on whether or not you're going to be using certain equipment. So as you can see here, I got a 391 heal. One thing I did observe during this test is you do get the 7% increase from Needle Strike if you are using Needle Strike before an ability. Also, if you put on a set of armor, you are also going to get a higher amount of heal. There you go, you saw that was over 400 heal that I got from that one hit just because I put on a set of armor. One thing that did not change was whether or not you were using prayers. Prayers are not actually going to give you a higher amount of heal, only if you are wearing better equipment. It is based on the damage stat and is not affected by other percentage increases such as anguish or any other prayer. Hopefully this video helped you get the optimal ability rotation when you are using enchanted Bakriminel bolts, and hopefully these mechanics will help you figure out how to get the maximum DPS. If you do enjoy this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below so you can see all my future content. Leave a like down below as well so that other people can see it as well. And make sure you comment seeing which one was the most surprising to you. As always though, have a good one.